Kia ora tamariki, I'm Whaia Cindy. Welcome to church this morning. Last week we took a look at Joseph. His dad had made him a very special item of clothing. Can you remember what it was? If you can remember, can you call it out for me? Good job. It was a very colourful robe or a coat. His brothers were so jealous of how much his dad loved him that they threw him in a well, and then they sold him to some traders. That's not a great way to treat your brother now, is it? Today, we are going to take a look at the next part of Joseph's story. And I've got my Bible here ready, so let's see what happens next. The traders took Joseph to Egypt, and he was thrown into jail. But he did nothing wrong. Joseph trusted God to help him. He made friends with some of the prisoners. One of them had been a wine taster for Pharaoh. Pharaoh was the leader of Egypt, and the wine taster had said, "Last night I had a dream. I was picking grapes and squeezing them into Pharaoh's cup, and then I put the cup into his hand. What does this mean, Joseph?" Joseph answered, "You will be Pharaoh's wine taster again, and once you are free, please don't forget about me. Help me to get out of jail too." A few days later, the wine taster's dream came true, and he got out of jail just like Joseph had said, and he was Pharaoh's wine taster once again. But he forgot about Joseph. Later, Pharaoh had two strange dreams. In one dream, he saw 7 heavy cows and 7 skinny cows. The skinny cows came up and they ate up all the heavy cows. He was confused. In another dream, Pharaoh saw 7 dried up plants and 7 healthy plants, only the other way around. The dried up plants ate all the heavy plants. Pharaoh was confused. He didn't know what it meant. Pharaoh's wise men were confused too. Then the wine taster remembered Joseph, and he told Pharaoh that Joseph could explain his dreams. With God's help, Joseph told Pharaoh what his dream meant. For the next 7 years, plenty of food will grow. For 7 years after that, not enough food will grow because there will be no rain. And Pharaoh said, "Joseph, you are a very wise man. I will make you a ruler over Egypt." For the first 7 years, Joseph was in charge of gathering extra food for the people of Egypt. That way, when the crops hardly grew, there would still be plenty to eat. The 7 bad years began, and the people in other countries had no food at all. Even Joseph's family did not have enough food to eat. So Joseph's father sent his sons to Egypt to buy some food. When the brothers arrived in Egypt, they went to Joseph and they bowed down to him. They did not know that he was their brother, but Joseph knew, and Joseph sold them some food. Then the brothers left to go home. Some time later, they returned to buy more food, just as Joseph had dreamed, and they bowed down to him again. Finally, Joseph told them, I am your brother." And his brothers were afraid. But Joseph told them, "Don't be afraid. God meant it for good. He had a special plan for me," he said. And they all hugged. And I think they looked pretty happy too. Did you know that God promises to be good to us, just like He was good to Joseph? Even though some bad things had happened to Joseph, God was with him. And I believe that God always keeps His promises. In fact, I think that's something that you could say after me. God keeps His promises. So I'm going to say it, and then we'll say it together. God keeps His promises. His promises. Okay, one more time. Let's say it all together. God keeps His promises. And He does, my friend. God kept His promise to Joseph, and He will keep His promise to you too. Bye for now.